let's go straight to the aftermath of that fight.
Yeah.
Are you wondering, right, am I going to get called in by the board? What actually happens at that point?
No.
So if someone thinks you've done a bad decision, you get called in in front of the pitch.
No. I didn't say me. I said one of us is going to get called in. I think, or all of us is going to get called in because our scores are so perfect that you're thinking, right, we're going to get called in and we're going to get a bollock in here, right? But then
had that happened to you before? Had you ever been called in before?
Yeah, how regular is that?
Yes, I've been called in a few times, which I think's been absolutely disgusting. Right, it's just my personal opinion, right? And I've always got a good reason for any. Obviously, I can't go into them, but every time I've been called in, there's always been a reason. I felt I've been treated a bit differently, but that's another subject. But where was I getting at? I thought to myself, we're all going to get called in, but we got a forum with just the star referees, and we was all talking, and they were saying, listen, our scores were perfect, right? No one's going to get told off here because the scores are too perfect. It's just everyone upset and this and that, it died down, But when I heard what I heard, I thought to myself, it's going to be me. It is going to be me.
So you was the only one to get called in?
And I was the only one to get called in.
Do you think that's just, did they just explain because that was the widest one? Is it as simple as that? Obviously, you and Victor have got one round between you.
Exactly. Well, you see, everyone kept saying wide score. But the most people I've spoken to, when even good boxing people said to me, your score is a bit wide, mate. I said, was it? He went, 118, 110. I'm like, pardon? 180, 110, that's a bit wide, Ian. I said, my score was 114, 111. And my other colleague was 113, 112. I said, I was one round different. Pardon? The amount of people that said that to me, I said, I didn't know that. Are you telling me all this aggro is over one round? Yes. They couldn't believe it.
So then what's the process? You get called before the board, who are your employers, working for them at that point, and you sit down, do you watch the fight? You basically have to explain how you came up with what you came up with. Yeah, I explain
myself.
But it's kind of unusual, isn't it? The board, I don't know, would you agree maybe it was a public scream up and there's pressure on the board then? It's like, how can this happen in this sport and whatever? So they have to respond.
Under social media pressure.
Yeah, that's how you see it, yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I told them.
Yeah.
They didn't like it. But I told them.
And then they call you in and do you sit there and watch the fight? Is it what does it look like, a room like this with a screen in it?
I can't get it too much, but I wanted to watch the whole fight, but I just took back a couple of rounds.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't sit down and rescore the fight, it's a couple of rounds?
No.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that's surprising.
And who's this with? Is this with other referees, A-star referees, or is this with other people from the board?
No, stewards from the board.
So they're not actually practicing referees and judges at the moment?
No experience of refereeing or scoring. I think there's only one steward there that's been an A referee, wasn't even a star referee. So you've got to think to yourself, why are you questioning me? You're not qualified to.
But there must be other officials who've been called in as well throughout the past, but it's never with someone who does the job. They
have been called in and nothing's happened, and that's why I knew when I got called in something's going to happen.
So you've been called in, but it really all hinged on this one round,
basically,
where you were the only one of the three judges who gave it to Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor, but also I was just going to say, like Mark said, the WBC supervisor, he scored the fourth round the same as me. The American judge, he scored the same as me. Yeah. Right, so that showed right, and
so it wasn't just you scored it for.
No, exactly right. And that's very crucial, very crucial.
So when you watch back the fourth round,
and I still
with them,
say it,
you watch it and you think Taylor's done enough there.
Done enough to win that, because that wasn't enough. That little watch it. I tell you what. Now you've heard me say it, I bet you think, do you know what? We're going to watch this and see what he thinks. Watch the 4th and 12th round. See what you think.
So this whole thing then.
It was all round the 4th round.
It all hinges on that one round that you and the other two judges didn't quite agree on. Yeah. Close round.
And the only round that the WBC supervisor didn't agree on and me was round 7. Right. He went for Catterall, I think he went for, and I went for Taylor. And so hence that's why we scored exactly the same, but with different round. You know what I mean? Mine was the 4th, his was the 7th.
I'd just say that, like,
And he said as well, sorry, here's what he said as well. A WB supervisor or a supervisor has to score the round and then put a little remark. And he put Taylor more dominant and more active, something like that.
In the fourth
round.
Right.
I know what you're saying,
George.
in terms of, and you're trying to balance out with scales to work out who's won that round. And you know, if I'm commentating, I'm sitting ringside, I'm thinking, what do I want? I've never done a judging course, but I've boxed 20 years, you know, amateur and pro. And sometimes I like the more eye-catching shots will trump someone landing a few more shots, etc. But that seems pretty harsh for you know, you to get dropped in status on the basis of one round. I know you said you'd come in a few times before. Did the board say that to you? Was it an accumulation effect? Like, because the board always stand unequivocally usually with their employees, and they.
Well, I know why, but I ain't gonna tell you why.
All right. But they and they don't. It doesn't change the result. Like, the board won't change a result.
No, that's right.
So Catterall still loses.
Yeah.
Taylor still wins.
Yeah.
The board essentially are saying that Catterall should have won.
Yeah. Right.
So that's why
basically you say the board are sort of saying.
So are they saying Taylor still won? We're okay with Victor Loughlin's scorecard, but we're not okay with yours.
Exactly. I'm in the majority.
Because of the fourth
remember?
round. Yeah.
I'm in the majority. Me and you. So you thought, hang on a minute, we better with George here.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
You see, and also my sergeant, my custody sergeant, asked me a very good question. He said to me, "Ian, what would you say to Josh? What would you say to Jack Catterall if you ever met him?" I said, "What would I say? I'll tell you what I'd say. You missed your golden opportunity. You fought for a title. I fought for a title. Oh, it was Southern area. Southern area title was a big title before you was turning pro, right? A big title, right? You know, I fought my heart out, and it was Fight of the Year, 1989." Right, small hall fight of the year. Right, he dropped me, I dropped him. He dropped me, I dropped him, and it was a massive, great fight. I give everything. You didn't give everything. You fought to a certain degree, and then you just ran out of steam and just grabbed for dear life. That's what you missed out.
Do you understand his? It's beyond frustration, isn't it? Because his life could have changed there. And
of course, it could have done.
And he looks at the reaction from the public and whatnot, and he thinks I definitely won that fight, and I've been stitched up.
He sucked it right up, and you know, but it was the last. He's telling you, he dropped it. Listen, when he dropped him, I thought, that's it. This guy's wow. Because as I told you earlier, I never seen this guy before, and I thought, wow, he's doing well here. He's only got to win the last 4 rounds. You know, in my head, I'm thinking he's only got to just keep doing what he's doing. I think he's got this.
Josh Taylor against Jack Catterall, when everything changed for you, really.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
And Catterall you never heard of?
I never heard of. No, I didn't. No.
Would that give you a bias before you start?
No, not at all. Just because you're the odd one out, you are wrong. I'll tell you what I'd say. You missed your golden opportunity.